ready. My concern is a team that should be in the conversation when we get to the playoffs. 37-year-old quarterback back has been acting up where he hasn't. It's been debilitating, obviously, that since he's not been able to do anything. So I'm not worried about today, August 11th. I'm worried about when you play the first game of the week, how long does it take for you to get ready for the next game when we start talking about going throughout the duration of the season? That's my only concern. I know you can manage it. I know they got needles with a lot of good medicine in it that can get you ready and get you through a season. But ultimately, when you start talking about Matthew Stafford and his back and the way that he expects himself to play and how much he means to this team going forward, I'm concerned. I'm highly concerned.
And it's not just Matthew Stafford here. Their left tackle, Alric Jackson, has been dealing with blood clots. So whenever Matthew Stafford does come back, he's going to have to be protected. Their backup left tackle right now is the veteran DJ Humphries. It's not Damian Woody. And so they're going to need strong play out of the left tackle position. But as we're all talking and as I'm listening to Marcus get all nervous and Damian Woody get all flustered, I'm thinking to myself, can you imagine if the New York Giants or Las Vegas Raiders or Steelers had gone through and traded for Matthew Stafford, and they had their new quarterback in town, and he's sitting there, and he still hasn't practiced.
Good point.
You think the New York tabloids would have some fun with that in New York right now? Oh, my goodness.
They'd be wondering about this little device that he's using, which our Rams reporter Sarah Barshop had this detail. We're going to show you this.
Landon Dickerson was helped off the field last night, a Sunday night practice in Philadelphia, a three-time Pro Bowl guard. Carted off, went for an MRI, and my understanding is it's a meniscus injury. It's not an ACL. Now, some people hear meniscus and they say, okay, well, that's good. It's not an ACL. Well, maybe, maybe not. He was going for second opinions, as far as I understood, and with meniscus, you could shave it, and it's not too extreme, or you could have the whole thing repaired, which would end his season. And so I think he's going through this right now. I'm expecting clarity here fairly soon, maybe within the hour, and certainly we'll bring that to you when we get that information. But he has a meniscus injury. They're deciding how to treat it, and we should have clarity here fairly soon.
I will say this. First of all, Landon Dickerson is a tough SOB. Yeah. That's number one. He's dealt with some injuries. He's played through a lot of big-time injuries. So if there's one guy that can play through something like this, it would be him. My only concern here, you start chipping away at this offensive line, okay? I heard you talk about it this morning. Mekhi Becton, he's gone, okay, to the Los Angeles Chargers. Now you have this injury, with Landon Dickerson, who's one of the best guards in the game. And so now that wall that you have up front with the Philadelphia Eagles, man, you start taking away players, that little bit could be the difference in a conference that's as good as the NFC.
I think it's a Super Bowl repeat type of injury impact. This is the injury that I'm way more concerned about than the Matthew Stafford one. And hopefully it's a short-term thing for Landon Dickerson, but it's hard for me to overlook 40% of an offensive line being gone if he's going to be out extended period of time and the offensive coordinator and just think it's going to get replaced. And we talked about last year's Saquon's season was sensational, was behind Dickerson. So this is an injury for me that has massive impact. And also Jalen Hurts. Jalen was a quarterback last year that, one, didn't throw the ball over the middle of the field a ton and struggled a little bit with the pocket presence, that just hanging in the pocket. That'll have impact as well. It's not just going to be felt by Saquon. So this is, for me, a very big deal in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I think it's a big deal, Dio, but I think what gives Philly a little bit of a reprieve, one, Howie has done a good job building depth on this football team. They've weathered storms with injuries before, but ultimately, you have a very athletic backfield. You got to get creative. If this becomes an issue for you as a football team, you're going to have to figure out how to protect the left guard by using all of the stuff that we watched Philly do a few years ago, with giving the eye, making you have eye discipline as opposed to just coming off and bulldozing. Look, make no mistake about it. Landon Dickerson is a road grader. That's what he is. He's a big, physical left guard that gives you so much movement at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage. When you miss that, you got to go a little bit north and south. Now, does that mean that this team will have as much success rushing the football? I don't believe so, but I think they can make up for a little bit of this, especially in the run game, with some of that creativity in the backfield. Ultimately, the issue becomes attrition for a team that's trying to repeat as Super Bowl contenders. The Philadelphia Eagles have done very well with their offense as far as keeping people healthy and having them for the most important times of the season. That becomes your issue when you have everything in place. Now, how have you built this depth out to be ready for these type of injuries that happen?
You know, Swagger, you threw out Howie Roseman. I'm going to throw out another name, Jeff Stoutland. One of, if not the best, offensive line coaches that we have in the National Football League. So as much as we talk about Landon Dickerson and, you know, how great of a player he is, the one thing with Jeff Stoutland, he is a master at developing players. And so whoever they plug in, I have the ultimate confidence.
If there's a place that can handle it,
it's the offensive line because of who's coaching that position.
I hear you. It's hard to replace somebody like Dickerson. Maybe we're not really talking about that, but he has 1,000 pass block and run block wins over the last 3 seasons. Penei Sewell, the only other lineman on that list. We'll bring you news on Dickerson as soon as Adam has it. As he told you, it could be within this hour. We're just getting started on NFL Live. Football's back. We're going to do a deep dive on the rookie quarterbacks. Dan shows you the one play that gives him hope Shedeur Sanders can be a starter. Plus, after nearly a year off, J.J. McCarthy returned to the field. But just as hopes rise, some news about one of his main targets could shake them up. Adam has the latest on that. It's next, right here on NFL Live. We'll be right back. Y'all are out here worried today. You're not worried about Stafford.